Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be in the world. This is Thoughtful Nuggets and Pearls on Gift of Healing TV. I'm Sara Jane, your hostess and founder of Gift of Healing TV. And I am joined by, yes, she's my sister. For those of you that have joined us before, you'll know that. For those of you that it's a first, Jaki Bent. And yes, Jaki is the founder of ifeveryonecares.org and adodo.org. So, and various other bits and pieces. Jaki and I don't always agree, which is what I love about doing these calls with her and these shares with her. So Jaki, welcome.
Hello, thank you. Good evening, afternoon, morning, whichever it is, wherever you are.
Yes, whenever you listen.
That's right. Yes, and whenever you listen as well. Yeah, definitely. Sarah, thank you for inviting me yet again. So.
Well, it's lovely. Hopefully Jaki joins us sort of at least once a month, because it's nice to get that little extra perspective, something beyond what probably occurs to me. And we are all different. And you know what? You're allowed to disagree with us. You're allowed to think for yourself and feel for yourself. And if anything that we say actually brings up feelings, great, explore those. And I suppose that actually, you know what, without realizing it, I think that really leads nicely into the topic. Be nice to yourself. So it is, if something feels to you, whatever that feeling may be, explore that feeling. You know, if it's something that makes you angry, explore why it makes you angry. If it makes you happy, see if you can find out why it makes you happy. Jaki, sorry, this literally came as I was doing that bit at the start, and I love it because I asked the university support. So
I think just fairly recently I did a 12-week course on pattern changing, and it was really interesting. They had something each week called gifting. And at the beginning of each session, you had to say what you had gifted yourself with during the week. Had you given yourself a long, relaxing, soaking bath? Had you taken yourself out for a walk? Had you had your nails painted? Had you all these different things? Had you treated yourself to a dessert if you went out? Had you given yourself some time off? All of these different things. And it was really interesting being with a group of women who'd all been through pretty rough times and everything else. And having this concept that each week we were expected to do something nice for ourselves. And it can feel quite alien because we were brought up to do things for other people, and that it was selfish to do anything nice for ourselves. And actually it's not, because if you hit burnout because you haven't given yourself those gifts, that time and whatever else, it's not really being kind to anybody, yourself and other people around you, because you know, so be nice to yourself. Not always the easiest thing to do.
No, it isn't. And I think that's just it, isn't it? We were brought up with everybody else has to come first, and you definitely come at the bottom of the pile. In fact, you probably come lower than the bottom of the pile. And this is what I try to say to clients, and I'm sure you've said to people as well in the past, is you've got to give yourself that me time.
Yeah.
And sort of, because obviously I do things sort of like Indian head massage. So no, unless you live in Bournemouth, I'm not trying to sell anything, because that's fine, because that's very much a hands-on thing, and I can't do that via the internet. But a session, so if massage speaks to you, treat yourself to one. And we're not necessarily talking about every week, but you know, so it's a monthly treat or something. Because I do get that with something like that, you've got to pay for it, you know. Yeah. But treating yourself to occasionally, as you, Katie, and I did, because Katie's our middle sister. The other weekend, the three of us went for a walk. Mind you, the beach was heaving because it was so hot. But the three of us just sort of went out. So we were walking along the sand and paddling in the sea, and we were just talking. And we gave ourselves that permission to have that time with just the three of us.
Yeah. And it's very rare. I mean, I think we have tried for the last couple of years to have a day where we go out with our mother as well. So it's three sisters or three daughters and mum. And but actually, I don't remember the last time, Sarah, that before that that you, Katie, and I actually went out and had time that was just the three of us. I don't remember when that was.
Well, I don't think there was, and that's just it. We had earlier this year, we actually had an evening where Katie's husband happened to be out. You were up,
yeah,
and I came across, and so it was us three girls. And I think that was the first time
maybe that we've ever done it.
Ever done it.
Yeah.
And it was lovely just to have the three of us. And so whatever it is, do you know, whether it is a get together with siblings, and I'm going to say siblings because do you know what, guys, you're included in this. It isn't just about the women, because it is really important for every single person to give themselves that me time, to be nice, kind, thoughtful, considerate of themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I take it as a given that that whoever you are, male, female, transgender, whatever your orientation is, whatever your religion is, whatever it is,
yes,
that to me, I include everybody. It just happens that we're three sisters with a mother, so it may come across as though we're talking about just females. It definitely isn't. Every single person is equally valuable, and the importance of being kind to yourself, and not always just kind, nice. You know, if it's something that you would consider doing for somebody else or suggesting that they do for themselves to be nice to them, then why not consider that you could have it for yourself as well? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm at a loss because I'm was one of the worst people at being kind to myself. But you were talking about things that cost, you know, that maybe some of these things that we're saying may cost money, like massage and stuff like that. I found earlier this year, I've started doing a little bit of yoga, and please let me be very honest, I've always thought yoga is just not for me. You know, it's just like, I just really thought it wasn't. And I found this amazing female, Adrienne, on YouTube, and they're all free. It doesn't cost a penny, and she's got hundreds of videos that have been watched by hundreds of thousands of people. She's so popular, and she's also a little bit she's a little bit funny, and she doesn't take it, she takes it seriously, but not so seriously that you feel that if you don't get it right, that if she was to be able to see you, that you might get into trouble. You know, it's quite relaxed. And it's such a gift. And I think, you know, that there are amazing meditations online through YouTube. And I mean, okay, Sarah, you've got some incredible meditations that you've put up that, you know, lots of people have watched as well or listened to. And so things, being kind to yourself, don't have to cost anything.
Oh, no. You know, if you're somebody who enjoys going out for a walk, don't let anybody stop you.
Yeah.
It's really important. You know, sort of, it really is. And so I'm going to ask that question of all of you. We don't need the answers. How often do you think about yourself?
Okay, so I'm gonna change that slightly, because how often do you think about yourself maybe and think, poor me, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I haven't got time for myself, I haven't got whatever else. So there's that type of thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
And then there's the other type of thinking about yourself of, you know, actually I am valuable, I do matter, you know, I'm giving everything to everybody else. Hey, I'm going to pencil out in my diary that that hour there, or that afternoon, or that day is my day to do something for me, my hour to do something for me. So I think there's different sides to the coin.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you feeling exhausted? Are you feeling tired? And are those the thoughts you have about it yourself? Or are you giving yourself permission to have time off, time out, do something special, go to the theatre, you know, book a holiday, you know? And wow, I mean, I'm just starting to allow myself to think that I might quite like to go on a little holiday. And money is really tight. I'm, you know, not well off in different bits and pieces, but a little bit's coming in. And I sort of think, oh, maybe I might treat myself. I've got something on my bucket list that isn't hugely expensive that I would really like to do. And I think I might be about to give myself permission to do it.
Good.
You know, it's like, yeah, That's if I can get out the house.
But I think, yeah, but I think that's just it. It is about giving yourself permission to do things for yourself. You know, some of the clients I've had come to me, and there's so much going on in their lives, and it's, please think about having those breaks. You know, all those years ago when I was working in an office, I think even when it was raining, I would make a point of going out during my lunch break to get a break, give my head a break from the work.
Yeah.
And I still pencil out 2 walks a day. Yeah, they're only 20 minutes, half an hour each one, but it's go out, get some fresh air. Well, one, if you can see my antiquated mobile phone, that's it. It doesn't come with me. In fact, it spends its life turned off. So, because I don't do mobiles. So when I go out, I am not going to be disturbed by anything. I go out and I give my head a break from work.
Yeah, no, that's good. I find that or last year, I used to take myself out for a walk nearly every day, actually, for a long period of time. And I do take my mobile phone with me, but I also have wireless headphones, and I listen to audiobooks. And last year, I listened to over 1,000 hours worth of audiobooks. But that's partially because, you know, hey, I'm not perfect and I struggle a bit with anxiety. And actually, the only way I could get myself at that time to go out was if I could have, you know, my phone there, my audiobooks, and my headphones, because I could blank a bit of the world out, but then I had, you know, something talking in my ears and whatever else. And that was the way I got out. You know, I don't say I'm perfect in any way, shape or form. And sadly, I'm back in a mode where I struggle to go out a bit, and which is sad, but it's just part of life, and it's part of that journey. And yeah, and maybe I'm just too hard on myself sometimes, and having conversations like this. In fact, a friend of mine was on the phone this morning and she went, Jackie, she said, you're just not being kind enough to yourself. And I thought, oh, that's a good one for this evening. She said, you just need to put yourself first. So everything that I would say to everybody else, she was saying to me. And then she went, lecture over. And I said, thank you very much. I needed to hear that. But it's not so easy when you have something that actually stops you from doing some of these things. So the only reason I tell you and I'm opening up about it is because you may be sat at the other end and think, but that's not me, or I have this issue or that issue or whatever else. Be kind to yourself, acknowledge it, give yourself permission to have those issues. And when you stop feeling bad about having them, then it takes a bit of the pressure off you. And yeah.
But I think that's just it. When we start thinking about whatever the issues are, whatever they are, you know, and because they're happening to us, they are that word issue, which suggests they're a problem. And the thing is, they aren't a problem. It is just a fact. And while you are concentrating on the negative of the fact, the issue, that is all that you are bringing to you. So this is what I love about having these conversations and Jackie participating, because we are very different. We may be sisters 6 years apart, but we've got different lives and different things happening within our lives. Jackie has children and grandchildren. I don't have kids, therefore no grandkids. You know, so we have got very different lives.
Yeah.
You know, and our sister in the middle, she's got children and grandchildren as well. So, you know, so, you know, in that respect, Katie and Jackie probably understand each other better than me, because I don't have the children. And I will just be totally honest with both of them. Will you stop thinking about your kids and start thinking about yourselves? And I will say that. And I think, well, Jackie will agree. I have said that to you more than one occasion, haven't I?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, for me, I find my children 95+% of the time, they are my absolute gift, and I absolutely adore doing things for them, you know. And in fact, if you'd have seen my home half an hour ago, 2 of my grandchildren have been here, and they're 2 and 4, and it was absolutely amazing. And, you know, I've got my lounge goes from being a lounge to a playroom. You know, I have these amazing things that come out. It's a bit like going to a nursery or something like that, where they've got all these toys, because I just adore it. And then there's that time where just every now and again I think, oh, actually, no, you know, I'd like to do this for me. And I've learned in the last year to start to say no to some things. And, you know, I'm sure that it was a bit of a shock to start with, but do you know the person who gave me the ability to do that is my youngest son's partner? You know, and I can't say thank you to her enough. She doesn't realize that she did it. But through her actually being able to express what she wanted for her and her children, and she would say no at times, I was like, heck, if she can do that at 22, 23, 24, why can't I at 53? Why do I feel bad about it? Because actually what she was saying was perfectly all right. There was no problem with it. And I thought, oh, okay. I can give myself permission to do the same. And they're not going to think any worse of me, because actually they're doing it as younger people and the younger generation. Like, it's like the penny drops. I can say no.
And we've done programs on the saying no before. So if folks are watching this one, go to the Thoughtful Nuggets and Pearls page, and you will find, you know, sort of programs there about saying no, because it is so important. But it is important to say yes to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, the yes is as important as the no. And experiencing no can actually be a way bigger gift than experiencing yes.
Yeah.
Because it can free you. Because I don't know about you, Jackie, but I am very good at making suggestions about things and then thinking, why did I say that?
Oh, I do that all the time. And I'm starting to get a bit better about it, because I will occasionally, if I think about the reason why I wish I hadn't said that or suggested it in a moment, I will go, oh, actually, I can't do that because, and so I've actually started, and it's all a step. It's starting to break that habit. And I think habits is one of the ones for next month, isn't it, Sarah?
Yes, it is actually.
Yes, they are. So that will be beautifully into one next month. You know, which is really interesting. But I think, and I think another aspect of that feeds into habits is actually, you know, we're in the habit of saying no to ourselves, or of putting others first and everything else. And that is something that we can change. And it is possible to. And sometimes it takes time. It takes, and the saying yes to ourselves, no to others, whatever it is it takes time to change that habit. It takes time. But every time you become aware that, oh, I did it again, I didn't put myself first, I've put everybody else first, pat yourself on the back and go, oh, I've recognized it now. Because slowly over time, once you start recognizing things, you will slowly find that you start to go, oh, actually, no, sorry, I can't do that. Or no, actually, I'd rather not to do that. Or, you know, oh, I'd really like it if you could do this for me. Because there's no harm in asking if there's something you'd like somebody else to do. They may say no. It's not your right, you know, you don't have a right to expect anybody to ever say yes to you. You really don't. But they might say yes, and it might surprise you. And if they say no, hey, at least you asked.
Yeah. And I would always ask people to be totally honest with me.
Yeah.
If I have asked, please just be honest with your yes or no. Please don't say yes when you mean no and then let me down.
Yes.
Please just be honest, say no. I don't need a reason.
Yeah.
But when you say no, when you hear a no, nobody needs to give a reason. The answer's no. Don't try and flannel it. Don't try and wrap it up in something nice and soft and comfortable. The answer's no. Don't. And the more you say, I think the more chance you've got of being talked round. Whereas if it's just really sorry, no.
See, yes and no. I sort of agree with you, but then I also think that what I've started to do, because Sarah said I've got children and grandchildren, actually with my children, I'm starting to explain why my is a no. So because actually my children really don't know me. they know me as mum. They know me as the things that I do for them, and who I was when they were growing up. I'm a very different person to who I was when they were growing up. I've changed a lot. They probably don't even know half the things that I enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, they don't ask me very often. You know, I'll hear about what's going on with them, but they don't really ask me because, in all honesty, they're probably not even aware that they're not interested. Because they've got such busy lives, because they're young and they've got children and jobs and everything else, and they assume they know me because I'm mum. Yeah. But actually, they don't really know me.
And you know what? That goes for all of us, folks. So it was nearly 13 years ago this year. So it was 13 years ago this year. There was a friend of a group. There's a whole group of us. There was a friend that died, and he was a real character. But what you got to realize, well, I'm sort of 60 now. And so, as I said, this was 13 years ago that he died. And as I said, he was a real character. He loved to dance. He played the guitar. There are certain other things that it was just like a bit mind-blowing that he used to do. But we had lots of photos from the parties and the get-togethers we had. And when we went to his funeral, he'd got 2 daughters and a son. And we put a collage together for each of his children of photos we had with him in. And they saw a totally different side of their father. It was a father they didn't know because they didn't know the person. They knew their dad.
Yeah.
And they were absolutely amazed by it. And you know, and so we'd frame them. We'd done these collages and we'd frame them, and we handed one to each of them. And they were all different, so they could sort of, you know, it's obviously from the same parties and get-togethers, but they were all different. So they actually it was all different for them. And it was a beautiful gift. And, you know, we can do that, you know, because when Jackie goes out with her friends, when I go out with my friends, it's not what children see. And the same with our middle sister, you know. And I listen to my nieces and my nephews, and I realize that with all children, I don't think they fully understand. And I know from my own perspective with what happened to me as a child, they don't fully understand why parents are the way parents are. The fact that their parents love them to bits, they may not feel like they love them, but the fact that their parents love them to bits and are trying to do their best for them out of love, yet the children don't necessarily feel that. I'm sorry, that is the perception I am getting. I listen to other people, and I think, you know, because we can only come from it at our perception of what has happened, our interpretation of what has happened. And so it is really, really important. We must stick to this. It's good to be, you've got to be kind to yourself.
I think it's this.
You've got to be honest with yourself. You've got to be thoughtful, considerate of yourself.
See, I struggle because each time you're right with what you're saying, but each time I hear the "you've got to," I put up an absolute wall because I feel like I'm being told what to do again, and that was part of my, you know, so much of my life I was told what to do, and I, you know, left, right, and centre told what to do. I mean, if I didn't do what I was told, then other people suffered. So, you know, you learn to do what you're told. And so I still have this thing, and it's like, so I suppose, and I don't even know what the right wording is. For me, it's, you know,
encourage you to.
If you want to be happier and healthier, why don't you try being kinder to yourself? Why don't you try doing these things? You know, or would it be a good idea, or whatever else? And I find that I have this rebellious streak in me, that when somebody tells me I've got to do something, I think, who the bloody hell are you to tell, excuse me, sorry, who are you to tell me that I've got to do this? because it's like somebody's being in control of me again. And I suppose this healing time that I have, and I say, I said earlier, I struggle with anxiety, and sometimes I struggle with going out and different bits and pieces. It's almost like I give myself permission to do that and to be that way at the moment. And when I'm ready in my own time, I will go back out and I will do those things. But try and force me, and actually you'll set me back, it will just go, I don't know. It's a really difficult one.
Give me advice.
Yeah.
I'm no good. Make a suggestion.
Yeah.
That gives me the choice.
So yes, it's having that choice.
It's having that choice.
Yeah.
And is it okay to put yourself first? And I would just like to briefly, because we are sort of coming to time, is it okay to put yourself first? What I would say to people is, it's more than okay to put yourself first. If you don't take care of yourself, and maybe I'm putting totally the wrong words for you, but if you take care of yourself, if you make sure you can get the chance to recharge your batteries, to re-energize yourself, to be kind to you, you can be there far more for other people. It clears your mind. But going out and having those walks on a daily basis, especially when the sun's shining, which it is now but wasn't earlier.
Raining here.
Yeah, right. No, it's definitely sun shining here. By giving yourself that break. So whether you're working in an office and you think, I've got to get this done, but actually giving yourself a break by being able to come back at something totally fresh, you can actually usually solve things a lot quicker and get to the root of things way quicker, because you've cleared your mind, you've re-energized your body, you've refreshed, you've had something to eat, you've had water to drink, you've done whatever it is that totally helps you. The breaks, to me, become absolutely essential the more you feel you have to do, because you will achieve more in a shorter time, because you've allowed yourself the break. You've allowed yourself to think of yourself first. And you will, there's no two ways about it. I achieve way more by taking those breaks than if I just work through.
Yeah.
I'll comment, Jackie, before we come to an end.
No, I think I agree with you, and I think you made a very good comment at the beginning when you said whether or not I'm using the right language for you or whatever else. And I think that is another thing that you have permission to do. If somebody doesn't use the right terminology for you, find the positive framing of it, or if you can find the positive framing of it, put it in your own words, your own language. Then you'll hear it at a different level. So, I agree, taking that time. I know for a fact, I have some of my best ideas, some of my clearest moments and thoughts and everything else when I take time for myself. And I probably don't listen to my own advice often enough. So, yeah, we're all human.
Well, I hope that has helped you folks. And it is take from this what feels right for you. Reword things, rephrase things, whatever you need to do with them, whatever you feel is right for you. Not everything that is right for me is right for Jackie, is right for you, because we are all different. It's find what works for you. The fresh air seems to work very well for Jackie and I. But that's it.
Give me my camera as well with me. My camera is another bit of protection between me and the world, sort of thing, but it helps me see some things with greater clarity and the beauty of nature around.
Absolutely. Next week, we've sort of mentioned it tonight, self-talk. I will be back with that. It's not up on by the time this goes out, and most people will see it. It will be on the website, but it's not on the website at the moment. It will be up there shortly. It'll be up there tomorrow. Jackie, thank you so much indeed. Much appreciated. I know you've got to scoot off. You've got another call now. Folks, thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching whenever you watch. I really hope this has helped, and we look forward to seeing you again. Love, peace, and light to you all.
Yeah, namaste.
Namaste.
Take care.
Namaste.
Bye.